Week 81 of reselling online, and it's been a journey to get here. I've been documenting this journey since day one, and I'm excited to say it's been another solid week. Now, this week we did actually wrap up July 2022, which is actually the first month of FY23. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you'll know that I'm really tracking like a hawk some of the different stats and figures for this FY, really wanting to increase and improve in so many different areas. Now, this month has been a humbling experience. It's been great to be able to see what effort I've been able to put in and the results that I can get from that. And today I want to share with you three things. The first one being some tips in how to grow your reselling business. And then also we'll go through the weekly results and we'll go through the monthly results. Let's get into it. Let's start off with what sold this week. Now, top item number one for this week was this Mambo Bikini Atoll wraparound skirt. Now, this one I paid $1.46 and I've gone on to sell it for $134. That's postage included, all the way over to the US, and I've come out with $87.84. Now, this one did sit around for a little while, but once I got an offer on it, I took it because I knew it was definitely worth it. Top item number two was this Lego lot of 1.4 kilos of bag, mixed wheels, tires, and vehicle parts, etc, etc. Now, for this one, I got this in a bulk lot, and I've parted it out, and it works out to be about $1 in terms of value of what it's cost me to actually purchase this. Now, I've gone ahead and sold this for $72.50 and come out with $45.89. Now, if you have not seen my video on that Lego haul that I did, well, you can go check it out here. And this is how much money I have now been able to earn from that Lego haul. So it's been quite rewarding. Be on the lookout for Lego. Top item number three for this week was this Xbox 360 Microsoft Wireless Still Sealed. Now, this one I purchased for $7.50. It's been sitting around for a very long time. Now, I got an offer for this, including postage all the way over to Canada, for $95, and after fees and postage, I've come out with $44 back into my pocket. And top item number four for this week was this men's Nike dry fit training hoodie. Now, this one I got in a bulk lot. I paid $1.39 for it, and I've sold it for $59.30. Now, after fees and postage, I've come out with a flat $40 into my pocket. Now, one interesting item for this week, which is item number 5, is this Communicating in the 21st Century. Now, I just think this is pretty cool because this is a book that I took to university, must have been about almost 10 years ago. And what's interesting is you never know what you've got that's sitting around that might be able to be worth some money. So obviously this one has cost me nothing into the business. I obviously have paid for something for it probably 10 years ago, but I've gone ahead and sold it for $23.20, and after fees and postage, I've come out with $8.85. And the reason why I wanted to include this one is it just helps you understand that, you know, there's different things around the house that you might be able to make a quick $20 with, but if you've got 5 of them, that's $100, right? And it adds up very quickly. So have a little thrift around home and see what you got. So how have we actually gone for this week? Well, week 81, we've done 61 sales, a margin of 52%. Cost of goods sold for this week was $114. We've sold $1,750 worth, which is pretty solid, and we've profited $923 back into the pocket. ASP was $28.70, and the average cycle time worked out to be about 72 days. Now, if you want to see what I've actually been selling and what's been moving, well, you can have a look for yourself. And once again, it's always interesting to see what are the big movers and what are the items that have just been selling here and there. Now, with that in mind, let's jump over to this month. Now, make sure you do stick around to the end because I am going to go through some of the tips, and also I've got a little bit of show and tell as well. So for this month, I've been really focusing on increasing my business. That's because I finished my first end-to-end financial year, FY22, and now we're in FY23. Now, to help you understand this, I want to be very frank, and I've always shared my numbers very, very openly, and we're going to do this slightly different. I want to break this up into a profit and loss statement so you can understand how this is calculated, and then I'm going to go through profit first view of how I actually manage my cash flow, and we'll touch on some of the different KPIs. So in terms of profit and loss, you can have a look for yourself here. We had a total revenue of $7,303, which is, it's an absolute just humbling experience to have this number come through. It's been a while since I've had this, and it's actually just been really great to be able to tick over that $7,000 mark again. I think I've only done this 2 or 3 times in the last about 15-16 months, so it's really good to be back up there again. Now, in terms of cost of goods sold, there was $617.97 of cost of goods sold this month, which made us a gross profit of $6,685. Now, that's pretty cool, not too bad. However, obviously there's operating expenses that we have to take into account. There's printer stuff, there's other costs such as refunds and unexpected costs that come through, postage, supplies, storage, marketing, software, post costs, and fees. Now, there wasn't much of the other costs this month, simply because I made sure I purchased a whole bunch of stuff in bulk, like post supplies and things like that at the end of last financial year. Total expenses for this month is $3,356, which gives us an actual operating profit of $3,328 back into my pocket. Now you're probably thinking, that's great, that's pretty cool, not too bad. One thing I do want to make sure you understand is I manage my cash flow with profit first, meaning each week when eBay pays me, which is after fees, I reallocate that into different buckets to make sure I've got enough money in the business to operate the way it should. And that comes down to owner's pay, profit, OPEX, tax, and boost. OPEX is the operating expenses to cover all those things that we've just been discussing. And also profit is what goes into, I guess, as a bit of a dividend or a bit of a bonus, some cream to put on top of the cake, basically. Owner's pay is what I pay myself on a monthly basis, or weekly I actually pay myself, but I pay myself out on a monthly basis. And then tax is allocating some money away for the tax man at the end of the financial year. And then boost is just a little bit on the side that I'm just using for a rainy day and maybe end up using it for some offsets later down the track. So as you can see here, I paid myself a total of $2,214 back into my pocket, or about $500 a week, and the rest of it has been back into the business to help it grow. Now the reason why I do that is because the more the business can grow, the more the business can evolve and grow with this cash, the more I'm actually going to be able to pay myself in the longer run. We won't get into that today, but that's really the whole focus of my cash flow is king process. Now, in terms of KPIs, I did focus on fees, sell-through rate, 5% growth, and expenses. I also managed to track my time as well. So in terms of fee percentage, the target was to do less than 18.6%, and this includes store fees, this includes when I sell things, and promoting fees as well. For this month, I've actually been able to lower that down by 1.3%, and we got it down to 17.3%. So it's good to see that come down. In terms of sell-through rate, we are sitting at 11.93%, and that's for items that I've listed in this financial year and sold in this financial year. So we're a little bit behind, but obviously it's the first month, so we've got the entirety of the year to complete this. And then in terms of 5% growth, if you want to have a look and see how we've been progressing with this one, well, actually, in terms of sales, we're doing 35% above compared to last financial year in terms of the first month. In terms of revenue, we're 32% higher, and profit gross, that is, we're at 15% higher. So all things are suggesting we're going to land in that 5% higher. In terms of expenses, this is, not including post and fees. The idea was to try and lower this below 9.75%, which is what it ended up being last financial year. At the moment, we're tracking at 5.27%. So we're spending less in terms of other categories. Now we'll see how that pans out over the rest of the financial year. In terms of time and how I've been tracking my time, the actual time that I spent in my business was 79.6 hours, meaning on average, I'm working about 18.5 hours each week in the business. Now, this is somewhat a little lower than I expected, but there was a few times here where I was able to batch up on one day and I didn't have to do much work on other days. And because I've been trying to source things in bulk, it does save me a bit of time in terms of going out and sourcing for items. So not too bad. In terms of what's been selling this whole month, as you can see here, we did 254 sales, and these are all the items that have been selling. In terms of what's the best, it's books, Lego, DVDs, and clothes actually. So not too bad. Lego is the first time that it's actually probably been up here. Video games is usually one of my better categories, so that was still in the top 5. So that is July 2022, the first month of FY23, and I'm pretty happy and pretty proud to be able to look at those results and reflect on it. Obviously now I have to see if I can take this and run with it, and that is a good segue to talking about some of the tips and tricks that I have for you of how you can grow your reselling business. And I think there's 3 areas that I really want to get into here, and the first one is understand what your intent is of doing this. Is it for some spare dollars on the side, or is it for income replacement? And the reason why is this will influence the value of the money that you've made. And what I mean by that is if you have a set income, let's say you get paid $1,500 a week from your current 9-to-5 job. And if you can go ahead and do reselling and make an extra $200 to $500 on the side from reselling, yes, you'll still have to pay tax on it, but that increases your actual income by 13 to 33%, which is just incredible. That on top of what you're already earning, that can be a game changer. If we think about inflation, if we think about interest rates at the moment, people's household incomes are increasing by about $400 per month. So to have this coming in on the side, that's going to help ease that burden. Now, the other thing to think about is if you are doing this full time, well, then you need to replace all your income. What you get is what you get. So that's why actually You know, me saying that I did $7,000 this year, but I only took home $3,000, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that's because I have to do a lot more work to get the money that I need to be able to live. Whereas if you're already operating as a 9 to 5, you know, have a job, then you don't have to work as hard to be able to get that income on the side. Different perspectives, different ways of doing business, of course. Now, you could probably say, well, why wouldn't I get a 9 to 5? Well, that's true. I've stepped away from my 9 to 5, and I'm trying to focus on building a lifestyle that gives me the freedom of time, and I can work on other things, whether it's my podcast, my YouTube, some other little hustles, or this business itself. And I've got the flexibility to be able to do what I want when I want. The next point is profit is great, but cash flow is key. I've been talking about this so much over the last couple of weeks, actually even the last 4 weeks. And the reason why this has been so important to me is it's changed the way that I'm operating in the business. You know, if you can take $1 and turn it into $20 and wait $30 to get that $20 to come back, look, it's not too bad, but what if you could take $15 today and walk away with $4 profit? So you're still going to get $15 back into your pocket, but you've made $4 on that item after fees and postage and all that jazz. Well, now you've got $4 more to actually go out and turn that into something else. So if you could do it again, 4 times 4 equals 16. 4 times 4 meaning you do it 4 more times, you get $4 more in profit, it gives you $16 more profit, which means you could go do this 16 times more. And then eventually it's going to compound and you'll be able to do it 64 times and so on and so forth. That is the power of it, right? And having that cash flow move enables you to be able to do that. It's not about having the biggest profit, because you can have the best profit, but if it takes you, 6 months to get that money back into your pocket, it's not really necessarily worth it, because you need the money to be able to grow the business, unless you're pumping in capital of your own. Now, this whole concept around cash flow over profit really comes down to making sure that you have that enabled in your business. And what I mean by that is, are you making sure items are priced to sell? Are you accepting offers and you're still making a profit? Money sitting in value is not money. Money in hand is valuable. The other thing is you want to keep it real, right? There's going to be a lot of good days and there's going to be a lot of bad days. I've shared that, and you can have a look over the last month there's been lots of highs and there's also been some pretty low days as well over the last month. Have a look at that for yourself and understand this. When you understand this, it helps you just move through those tougher days. And sometimes you can do all the right things and things will still go wrong. We're human, we make mistakes. That's all part of business. And that is the nature of the beast. That is part of the roller coaster that we ride, and that is part of this reselling game. And I hope from some of these little tips and tricks that maybe it helps change your perspective and helps you think a little differently on maybe how you can grow your business. But I think there's something there that we can all take away. Now, if you stuck around this long, I want to jump into some show and tell.
All right, team, Wednesday morning, and here's all the goodies that are going out. It's been majority books, but we've got this little guy. He's gone for 60. Actually, it might have been 50. A lot of these books are going for $9 to $12 each, because I'm running my 20% book sale, 20% off. He's gone for 15. This guy's gone for around that $12 mark. This bundle went for 25. That one's gone for just under 20. That one's under 20. That's gone for 44. This guy's gone for 20 something. This one's gone for 15. He's actually gone for like 25. Bunch of CDs going for 10 to 15 each. And this has gone for about 24 bucks as well. So look, not high ASP, but definitely volume. So not too bad. All right, team, it is Thursday, and just packing up some goodies to go out because I'm going away from tomorrow over the weekend. So got to get things early. These just came through as I was packing. These two have gone for about 60 bucks. We've got a couple of Final Fantasy games going out. Some guy came through and purchased both. Combined, that's about 30 bucks. This guy's gone for $40 from that Lego haul. He's gone for 45. Jaws has gone for 15. This guy's gone for about a total of 50 bucks all the way over to the US. Monopoly's gone for 8 bucks. This Mambo bikini skirt has gone for 110 plus $24 postage over to the US. It's gone for 40, all the 007. A hoodie, basically brand new, has gone for 59. Those two, they've gone for 45. A couple of DVDs, two different people, gone for about 15 each. Blu-rays actually. And actually, I also sold Rivals of H.G. Wells as well for, I think that went for 30, so not too bad.
Well, there you go. That has been this week, that has been this month, and I really do appreciate being here. If you've got any questions, any comments, anything like that, chuck them down below and we'll continue the conversation. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day. Cheers.